So we'll just start with a little moment, a little mindful moment to settle in to our little yoga space. Let your spine become naturally long. Bring the awareness to your breath, following the journey of the breath in and the breath out. Noticing the movements of your body to make that life-giving breath happen. And then we're going to take 3 energizing breaths from the tailbone to the crown and let it go back down the front of the body. Length from the back of the neck, open the eyes down to the ground. Notice the space you've arrived in. Notice some of the pieces of furniture and the walls, but then notice the space between each thing. So we'll come back up onto our feet. I don't know if you can hear my dog barking like a mad thing. There she is. We'll just start with a shake out first through one wrist. And if you keep going, I'll go and get back in. So she's not barking at the neighbours. Into the elbow and into the shoulder. That feels good. And so starting on the other side, I'm just going to rescue the dog. We'll rescue the neighbours. Come on, Molly. Come get Biscuit. That dog. So, where have you got to? Let's shake it down to the ground with both arms. And shake it out to the side. And shake it up high. Oh dear, I've got to let go. It's all very, go. She's usually so quiet, except when I teach yoga on Zoom. So we get the balance, have a waggle through the foot. And she says, get balance. I'm deliberately waving from side to side, of course I am. Into the knee. And right up into the hip. There you go. Woo. Well, let's do that through the other lower limb. So waggling the ankle. Like that. Into the knee. Give it a shake. Up into the hip. All over the place. Shake anything that hasn't had a shake out yet. There we go. And then we're going to work with another one of my favourites, bobbing. So we just bring the arms out in front and we bob one hip, each hip side to side by coming up onto the ball of the toe. And then we just start to tap the shoulders to get a nice rhythm going. And then a little bit of brain gym, taking one out to the side and one out in front. And then swapping that around. And swap again. So you should just start to feel gently warm. Swap again. Oh, you're all experts at this. Really good. Can't see Lee. I'm sure it's going fantastically, Lee. So we're going to bring the arms up. We're going to take one down in front and one down behind. Come back up. And the other way. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you were with me last week, you know what comes next. We're going to go all the way down to the hips and keep going in a big circle. So one arm effectively is sort of going forwards and one arm effectively is going backwards. That's why it feels so funny. So we'll try that again. Try it the other way. And sometimes it works to do it faster, and it's quite fun to try anyway. You can do it with the breath, so breathing in and then always breathing in at the top and then breathing out as you make the little swivel. You get a little gentle spinal swivel as well. Hope that worked out all right for you. Just bring the arms back down to the side. It was quite strong on the shoulders, isn't it? So we're just going to relax the shoulders by making some shoulder shrugs. It's quite nice, just bringing it up to the ear and feeling any tension just washing away, and we can begin to make that bigger and let the whole body join in. Nice. And then we'll go seamlessly into a figure of 8. So it's like you're holding something at the heart, you take it for a walk one way in a circle, comes back through the heart, you circle the other way. Let the breath become free and long. Feel proud of these movements you're making in your own body. Of course, we're inside, so I can step off the mat. Woo woo! I mean, we're at home. Not really meant to step off the mat too much. We're out in the various halls we're in now. Enjoy it down low if you like that, and your back feels okay. You can take it down. And you might love it between, if you go up high, you get right that feeling between the shoulder blades and your clever little hips moving in unison. That's great. Bring that back to the heart now. And get control of it. There we go. So grab a little drink of water if you need one. Don't know how hot your house is. Mine seems to, haven't had any heating on today, but it seems to have got itself very hot. And we're still going to work with energy block release 1. We're going to have a really nice flow through. I think you all know this one quite well. This queen of sequences to unkink you and set you going. So start by just grounding through the soles of the feet there. Let the body, the lower half of the body become a little bit heavier. Dropping, you can do that sort of by taking the knees off lock and dropping the tailbone just a little. Become heavy. Then lifting from behind the belly button all the way to the crown. And begin spinal breath. So from the tailbone, breathing into the crown. And it might automatically have already started you rocking, but we're going to rock with the breath. So we're breathing out as you breathe in. Sorry, breathe. You're rocking back as you breathe in. That would be circular breath. That would be quite clever. Breathing out as you rock forwards. Maybe I should speak less. Then I can feel it too. That's amazing. Raising the energy up through the spine. Come back to the center. And we're going to take a big breath through the spine and swirl around. the edges of the feet, the heels, the other edges, and the front of the foot. Come back and find your point of balance equal between both soles. Take a breath in and swirl the other way. Can't find a point of balance. So I'll take my left hand. If you take your right hand up to level with the crown, and your left hand below the navel there, lengthening on the in-breath, breathing out into the stretch. So there's 2 breaths in each one, lengthening first on the in-breath, breathing out, stretching through all those ribs, breathing in and breathing out again to turn it around. One more each side. You can sigh it out if you want to. So now bring the fingertips to the collarbones, elbows quite close. Just videoed myself doing this, and I notice that when I come back down, my elbows come apart. So you want to sort of try and really think about keeping the forearms parallel so that you engage the muscles behind you. Breathing in. You can come up onto the balls of your feet as well if you like that, practicing to stabilise your ankles. There we go, Angela's chorus now. So we're going to just draw the wings in now for finger flicks, breathing in and fly out with the breath. And now rolling the shoulders in and then rolling them back, lifting the sternum. And really what you're doing is lifting the heart and lifting the spirit, so smile too. Lovely. And so then we're going to go alternate, one in, one shoulder coming in and one shoulder coming out. It creates this amazing snake-like movement. Bring the fingertips to the collarbones now. Shoulder rolling with the breath. Breathing in. And taking the shoulders back as you breathe out. Sigh if you want to. It is the evening and it is dark. Rolling the other way. And bring the hands down to the side of the body, ready for the neck movements. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, bring the chin down, tuck it in, and then rolling. Or uncurling those few vertebrae at the top. Breathe in and breathe out as you tuck the chin in and Shoulders come forward a little bit. So by playing with these vertebrae, we're getting really good posture, letting the shoulders come backwards and down. So you should end up with the middle finger down the seam of the trousers. One more. Fantastic. And so now taking the ear to the shoulder, so breathing in through the spine and just gently stretching, taking the ear to the shoulder. If you want to feel an extra, possibly an extra release, this works for some people, you squeeze the hand on the side that you're stretching and then release it as you release the stretch. Nice. So we're going to make the bodyguard movement, or that very regal movement, surveying your kingdom. Breathing in, exhale, just turning the head. Keep your core switched on and your knees soft for this. One more each side. Really take a long breath in. Make it a subtly powerful movement. I can really feel it now. I'm seeing more of you face to face when we do this movement. It's quite scary in a good way. So, what have we done? Oh, just on turn. So, we're going to carry on with that spinal twist into the whole of the spine. So hands out in front, breathing in. Keep the feet anchored first of all. And breathing out as you twist. Coming back to the center. So now you're going to turn the feet out and let the legs join in. So turn the foot out at a right angle. Make the air move around your living room. Or whatever room you're in. So the third time we're going to hold it and then have an extra lengthening and an extra twist. Come back to the front. And the other way. Lengthen on the in-breath and an extra twist on the out-breath. Come back to the front. Bring the hands down. And just bring the foot, I probably just did it automatically, bring your foot back to hip width. So you've got really two strong posts directly underneath the hips, taking the weight of the body. Because in that position now, you can really zip up the fly at the front of your trousers by lifting your pelvic floor right up. Bring the belly button to the spine. Breathe out, switch all of those core muscles on. Lengthen on the in-breath. Or back bend, hinge and then fold as you breathe out. Breathing in as you unfurl again. Breathe out, switch the core back on again. Breathe in, lengthen or enjoy a back bend. Breathe out, hinging. Uncurling. Lengthen one more time. Hinge as you breathe out. Fold at the end of the breath. Then the knees will uncurl. So we're going to step out wide now. Make it really pretty wide. And I'll give you two options. This is kind of a calf stretch on one foot and a hamstring stretch on the other leg. So there's quite a lot in this movement really. So we turn the right foot out at a right angle. And sort of stage one, as it were, is resting the hands on the thigh. Then breathe in, lengthen, breathe out and fold, pushing into that back foot. And then bend the front knee and uncurl. And we'll do the same on the other side. So breathing in and lengthening, breathing out and fold. So you can support your back if you've got any lower back problems. You can just support your back there. Bending the knee and uncurling. So you can stay up there if you want to, or come right down to the mat with me and walk the hands over to the right foot, each side of the right foot. So this is where you're pushing into the back edge of the back foot, into the heel. Lengthen and fold. So you've got a hamstring stretch. You can bend this knee, but keep it as straight as you can. Walking over towards the left foot now. Hands each side of the foot. Push into that back, the edge of that back foot. Inhale, exhale. Walking back to the front. So whichever position you're in, you're going to bring your feet back to hip width. And uncurl. So the last part of the sequence is the squat and the talk to the hand kind of shield building exercise. So we're going to do a little squat, and then I'll show you a big one. So you can stay with this first stage if you want to. So breathing in all the way through the spine. And then we're going to flex the spine, really curl it up. Come back to your squat. And again. And flexing the spine. So again, you can support the weight through the hands there. So carry on with that, or else come right down into a nice squat there. Get your balance. Breathing in, come down. Take the tailbone in the air and the head down, so you're in a forward bend. Last one now. Refreshing. And so now we're just going to finish whichever kind of forward bend you're in. We're going to finish by unfurling super slow, mindfully. So put the weight down through the soles of the feet, bend the knees a lot, tuck the tailbone under, and then just let the arms and head dangle as you slowly straighten up, slowly straightening the legs. Try and let the arms and head dangle till last. Just putting one part of your spine on top of another. Put your core on, bring your belly button back to the spine. Nice and strong, soft in the knees though. Keep soft in the shoulders as you get back to that bit. And remember where you think your arms should end up and where your chin should end up. Remembering those very regal movements that we made. Back to Tadasana, mountain, strong yet soft. So we're going to come down onto the mat straight away today after the energy block release and just play a little bit more with the spine in some of the classic postures. So coming down first onto all fours, so we can work with cat. So the knees are hip width apart, the feet are hip width, everything's parallel behind you, so everything's hip width apart behind you as well. If you want to roll up the mat for your, to save your wrists, that's a really good idea, or even do it on a chair. And then just start playing with your spine. So start at the tail, bringing the belly button to the spine, taking the shoulder blades apart, and then letting the head drop down. Raise the tailbone. Sometimes I say raising, putting the headlights on full beam. You've got headlights on your bottom. Extending the spine, feel it lengthen through the shoulder blades and the crown lengthening away to the head rather than cranking it backwards. We don't want any neck ache the next day. And start again. Start with the tail. Breathing out. Breathing in now as you flex. So I'm going to go a little bit faster and put that with my breath. So it's exhaling now as the tail comes under. Inhaling as the tail comes up. Try and do this now with your pelvic floor lifted as well. And a little bit more core engagement, a little bit of the belly button back to the spine. And in this way, you're giving all of your digestive system a wonderful massage and creating blood flow around all those organs. Nice and wriggly, nice and freeing. It should feel good. And bring your spine back to neutral. Touch the toes together. Take the knees quite wide. Just bring yourself back onto the heels first, as far as is comfortable for you. And then take a good stretch forwards there. Let the forehead come to the mat. And then just come back onto all fours. I might turn around so that you can see a little bit better. I'm just going to sort of dip a shoulder. I'm not going to do the full twisted cat. I'm just going to dip one shoulder and look over the other, because that feels really nice for releasing any little pockets of tension across the shoulder girdle. And then we're going to go back into your child's pose, but this time really curling up into a ball. So you really want to get, you could have a cushion. I haven't brought my cushions in, it's really strange. Cushion underneath the bottom if you like, but then we're going to play with just keeping the pelvis upright. So if you imagine it as a fishbowl, you don't want to, I'll try and make sure you can see, you don't want to sort of accidentally tip it forward and tip all the water out. So you're not hinging from the hips, quite an unusual fold forward. You don't, no, people don't usually tip it out the back, but you don't want to do that either. So when you're coming forward into your child's pose, try and keep that pelvis kind of, that tilt as it is when you're upright, and just creep forward. And you'll feel like you're really, really folding up. You might want a cushion for your forehead, because it might not so comfortably, but you'll get a really nice, or you could build like potatoes with your hands and just rest there. And if your head is happy to come down, or you've got a cushion to rest on, then you could also take your hands to the heels. And I'll just come up to talk to you, but you stay there if you're comfortable. If you're uncomfortable, always just come forward and lie on your front in crocodile. Just let the shoulders become heavy and let gravity bring them down towards the earth, and relax all the muscles, as if there's a waterfall flowing over both shoulders, or as if some lovely person is just giving you a little massage as you lie there, each out breath. Ooh, just squidging out all the tension each side of the spine. Wonderful. So use your hands to help yourself back up to sitting. And we're just going to come on to your back now. We're going to do two things. We're going to work with the core strength, and we're also going to have a hamstring stretch. So core strength first, I feel. It's quite relaxing, just lying here, isn't it? You can pretend you're doing your core strength by flattening your back down onto the ground. That is the stage one. Just bring the belly button back to the spine, really flatten the back in, switch it all on. So then, slowly lifting one leg until the thigh is vertical. Don't come all the way because it becomes easier. So you want it, so you've got the shin bone creating the weight there to hold on to with your tummy. Go to put your foot down. So you can either, if that's strong enough, you can put your foot down on the mat and start on the other side. Otherwise, just as your heel touches the mat, then change your mind. Go, no, I'm not going to put my foot down. I'm going to stretch my leg out. Stretch your leg out right through the heel. Have a squidge of your pelvic floor, zipping up those flies, bringing the belly button to the spine and the spine to the mat. Molly's unimpressed. And then slowly moving the heel back towards its partner and putting it down on the mat. And you can go the other side. So you're slowly raising the lower leg and bringing the knee ever so slightly towards the body, not very far. And then go to put it back down. You can keep your pelvic floor switched on all the time. So you either put it down or you change your mind at the last minute, just as your heel touches the mat. You think, no, I'm going to stretch my leg right out because I can. Have a squeeze of your core muscles, your pelvic floor and your belly button to spine. And draw that back again. And then start again with the first side. If you want to try and do both, really get your back pressed into the floor. If your back is coming off the floor, then it's too strong and you need to just go back a step at any stage. Just go back a step for a bit. If you're doing both, you try and do it slow and low. There it is. And you try and hold each time you stretch your leg out. I might go back a stage there. I've done this afternoon already. I've done my bit. So you just keep going, one more on each side, or two more if you're alternating. If you are doing the alternating and you want to make it even stronger, you just bring an elbow. It's not just stronger, it actually starts to use not just the core muscles, but the oblique muscles, which aren't really exactly part of your core. They're more further out on the outside of the body. But they're nice to work. And at that point, shall we hold our knees and have a little, give ourselves a hug, bringing the knees into the body, rocking from side to side. Lovely. And so we're going to place both feet on the ground and work with one leg at a time in a hamstring stretch. If you've got your belt or your scarf handy, you can just put it around the ball of your foot and draw the leg towards you. Otherwise, you could just clasp the leg either behind the thigh or behind the calf. If you've got a very long hamstring, you might be able to hook 2 fingers around your toe as well. We don't want to completely straighten the knee. We want a reasonably straight leg, but not locking the knee joint at all. Draw that leg towards the body. Feel the stretch all the way down the hamstring. Feel it particularly behind the knee normally. Some people feel it at the Achilles tendon though as well. Or even the insertion point. Other insertion point is right at the top, sort of attaching to your seat bones, I think. So let's stretch the other side. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, we're going to better stop this lying down business because we've still got a good 20 minutes of lovely yoga to practice. We're going to work with the downward dog next. So we come up into the downward dog in 3 stages, which I'll just remind you, I'll just demonstrate. Join in if you want to, but just demonstrate those 3 stages. It's quite important that you've got enough space between your knees and your hands. The other thing that's quite good to do is to roll up a little blanket or a little towel or something underneath the heels. You don't necessarily want to push your heels right to the floor. You could overstretch your Achilles tendon, so be careful with that. That's not the aim. The aim is to get a straight line from the wrist to the bottom so that you can send energy shooting down your spine with gravity. So it's 3 stages really. We take the tailbone up and bring the tummy to the thighs. Then we think about lifting the tailbone. And then we think about dropping the heels. And then when you're there, you want to be breathing out, sending energy, whooshing down your spine. That's the intention with gravity. You can actually if you let go with the shoulder muscles, you can let your head, the weight of your head kind of pull your spine through. It's really nice. It sounds uncomfortable when I say that, but it's really releasing a lot in the shoulders. The key thing to aim for though is to get this straight line from your tail. So tuck the toes underneath you and then bring the chest towards the knees first. So we don't want to be here and we don't want to be here. We want to be right far back. Take the tail in the air, drop the heels. And I'll just come down to talk to you. So if you want us to keep there, breathing right the way through to the tailbone. And then letting the spine drop through. And so come back down again now. We'll go up one more time. I think, Angela, I could see you quite well though. If you bring your hands forward a little bit, you've got more space because your back's quite long. That's it. So more like you would start in cat. Don't be tempted to start too small because then once you're up in the air, in fact, even take your knees back a little bit more. That's it. Yeah, now you've got loads of space. Brilliant. So we'll start by bringing the knees off the floor, tailbone, there you go. So now if you keep your knees bent, Angela, and bring your shoulders towards your knees, but your tail up in the air, if that makes sense, yes, that's it. Brilliant. See if you can get your head level with your spine as well, everybody, so that your head's part of that straight line. Fantastic. And try and breathe, breathing out, down through the whole of the spine. Let the head drop through a little bit. There you go. And coming down onto your knees. It's amazing. Well done. Brilliant. It's a really good pick-me-up, that one. It's a good one in the as we move in through the seasons towards the darker days and these rainy days as well. It's a good pick-me-up in the afternoon if you're a bit tired. That and then a bit of legs in the air, sort you out. So yes, we're going to work with bridge posture as well now. We're fitting everything in today. It's because we've gone quite quickly through the sequence and through some classic postures, so we can really enjoy where we're going with that. So you just bring soles of the feet down to the mat, wriggle the fingers so that the fingers are quite close to the heels, and then start by pushing through the soles of both feet. So just, you can't even see it, the tailbone's just lifted off the floor. Breathe out and put it back down. Breathe in and lift a little tiny bit more. And breathe out and put it back down. And keep going with that, one vertebra at a time. And when you get to the top, just lifting the hips a little bit higher, up towards your ceiling. That's it. Sending the knees away from you and take the arms up overhead onto the floor behind you. Have another breath in and lift the hips a little bit higher. And then slowly keep the arms there and slowly roll the spine back down onto the mat. But with your sort of pelvis tilted, so you've got, get that lovely last bit of stretch through the lumbar vertebrae. And when it's all come back to the floor, breathing out and rest, bringing the arms back to the side. So you can start again, there's plenty of time. We're going to begin all over again, just playing with each little joint there, each disc, getting a massage. Also another good one for energy because it activates the thyroid as well. You're a bad dog, Molly. What are you doing? Oh, Dad, come and sit with me. So, really good. When you, especially when you have the arms overhead, you've kind of got putting a little bit of pressure on the thyroid gland there. So when you go up to full height again, just see if you can go a tiny bit further, and then taking the arms overhead. And that's the point, isn't it, when you're getting fresh blood supply to the neck and to your thyroid gland. So great for metabolism, any sluggish feelings. And we're going to roll that down, one vertebra at a time. You're all in different places, but that's absolutely fine. We just finish off the one that you're doing and just enjoy being you for a moment if you've finished. No rush. Fantastic. Good. So we're going to enjoy a little bit from the restorative yoga series. We're just going to take the knee, clasp the knee, and take the other foot into the air and circle it around one way, and then circling it around the other way. And then taking the knee out at an angle, so if you can hold on to your foot, or just hold on to the shin if you don't want to turn it out that much. And the same again, circling the other leg in the air and circling back the other way. Nice massage for the lower lumbar there. So we're going to swap sides. So start by just clasping the knee towards the body and creating those circles in the air with the other foot. And the other way. So feel what that's doing to your lower back on the floor. So turning that knee out, either holding the foot or holding the shin, and again, circling the opposite leg in the air, and the other way. And bring both knees, so you're holding onto both knees, bring them towards the body, taking them apart and making a circle away. And see if you can do this with the breath. So you're breathing out as you bring the knees towards the body, and breathing in as you circle away. Try that the other way round and see if it feels any different. Still breathing out as you bring the knees towards the body though. It doesn't matter, sometimes the breath just sort of switches itself around, it makes its own mind up when you're breathing in and out, which is absolutely fine. It's meant to be quite relaxing. There you go. And so we're going to take the knees to one side and the arms to the other. And then if you want to, you can straighten the leg that's underneath, just see how it feels for you. And stretch into that spinal twist a bit like a cat, just gently. Come back onto the mat and go the other way. And then see, if you want to, it's a bit stronger when you straighten one leg, but it's quite nice, you can take the arm up a little bit as well. A real good stretch right through the length of the spine. And then coming back onto your back. So we're going to stay lying on your backs. We're going to work with deep yogic breath before we go into deep relaxation. Sometimes we all have trouble sleeping, don't we, every now and then. Sometimes even if it's just good things happening or we've got a lot of fun things to think about, you know, it's not necessarily just because of bad things that we don't sleep. Get overexcited. So you can use this breath on its own before you go to bed, or if you try to go through your deep relaxation process, you know, warming up, stretching and releasing the body, and then warming up the you know, becoming aware from the feet upwards, warming up those different parts of the body. Once you're relaxed, you can work with this deep yogic breath. If your mind's so busy that you need something to do, that you can't just switch off and relax, which is quite common. So we're just going to practice, first of all, identify the different parts of the breath. So breathing into the tummy first, and let it go. And this in itself is relaxing, because you only breathe into your belly when you're pretty chilled out. So it tells your mind to switch off. Then we're going to breathe into the side ribs here. So I'm going to call them middle ribs. So see if you can push the ribs out to the sides and maybe upwards a bit. Oh, it's making me yawn. Oh, it's making me sleepy just doing it. Okay, so this works better when we put it all together. It's quite hard just breathing into a little bit at one go, but we just want to identify the three parts. So the top part I'm going to call upper ribs. Is just sort of really your collarbones and your neck muscles control this part. So just see what you can do there, breathing right into the top of the chest. But more importantly, actually, trying to let go from there. So we're going to put all three together. I'm going to sit up to do this, but it's quite nice doing it lying down. Sit up to talk to you. So we'll put all three together. So breathe out fully first, just let it go. Now breathe into the belly, the middle ribs, and then the upper ribs. Breathe out from the belly first, the middle ribs, and then the upper ribs. Breathe into the belly, the middle ribs, the upper ribs. Breathe out from the belly, the middle ribs, and the upper ribs. And keep going. That might be a slightly different timing for you. It might begin to become a bit more smooth. But just like how we always breathe from the base of the spine, we start the breathing movements with the belly. Even the breath out starts from the belly and the breath in. So now, try and add a little pause in, the fourth count after the out breath. So you breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, and wait. Breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3, and just wait. So keep going like that. In effect, making your out breath longer, telling your body to switch on the rest and digest response. Telling your body that it's safe. You're using your body to tell your mind that it's safe. And just let your breath return to normal. And I should think you've, you know, especially with the time of day that it is, I should think you're ready for your deep relaxation. So find yourself a comfortable position and lie down in, comfy blankets, turn the lights down low, and enjoy. I can put the camera onto my candle. We seem to have done a lot of movement today, which is absolutely wonderful. A lot of movement with the breath, a lot of releasing any pockets of tension. So start by just allowing your body to come down and rest heavily onto the ground, onto the earth. And then begin on the next in-breath to push the heels away from the body. And as you breathe out, let them go. And now as you breathe in, pointing the toes away from the body, stretching the whole leg and let go. On the next in-breath, squeeze both buttocks tightly together and hold, and then let go. Now as you breathe in, push the tummy upwards and outwards, and then as you breathe out, bring the belly button to the spine and press the spine into the mat, and let go. On the next in-breath, squeeze both shoulder blades tightly together and hold, holding the breath, and then release. And then shrug the shoulders up towards the ears and shrug them away again. Bring your arms to the side of the body with the palms turned up. Raise the arms a couple of centimetres off the floor. Rotate the arm towards you so the shoulders come in. And then rotate the other way so the palms turned up and the shoulder blades come underneath you together. Breathe through the fingers, stretching away, and then on the out breath, let the arms come to rest in a comfortable position for you. On the next inhale, bring the chin to the sternum, lifting the head a little off the floor. And then as you breathe out, let it rest back down again. Now opening the mouth wide, either take a yawn or just move the jaw side to side. And now squeezing the eyes, nose and mouth up tightly. And then release. And then raising the eyebrows up towards the crown. And then letting go. Now using the power of your mind, visualise a golden ball of light, warm and soft like the rising sun. Bring this image close to the sole of your right foot so that as you inhale, you draw warmth and softness in through the foot, soothing all the muscles and tendons. Allow your foot to rest. Allow warmth to spread past the ankle joint, saturating the whole of your calf muscle with warmth and softness. Visualise golden light radiating all around the knee joints, soothing and softening this joint, warming the thigh, the front of the leg and the back of the leg. And let the right leg rest completely down onto the mat. Bring the awareness to the sole of your left foot. And bring this image of golden warmth there, so that as you inhale, you draw softness and warmth into the foot. Allow the foot to rest. Allow warmth to spread past the ankle joints, saturating all of your calf muscle with warmth. Visualise golden light radiating all around the knee joints, soothing and softening this joint. Warming the thigh, the front of the leg, and the back of the leg. Give your left leg permission to rest heavily and deeply down onto the mat. On your next gentle inhale, fill the belly with golden warmth, softening the muscles of the lower back, unraveling, unwinding. Warming the muscles on each side of the spine, unraveling, unwinding, soothing and softening. And allow warmth to spread through across both shoulders. Allow the right shoulder to become heavy and the left shoulder to become heavy. As you allow all of your back to rest deeply down onto the mat. Bring the awareness to the palms of both hands. And as you inhale, allow softness and warmth to fill the center of the hand. Allow golden light to radiate through all the joints and muscles of both arms as you allow them to rest completely. And as you inhale now, fill the heart space with golden light, warm and soft. Allow this feeling of spaciousness to spread through the throat area and a golden glow to spread across your face. Allowing the corners of the lips to turn into a smile. and the corners of the eyes to gently twinkle. And bring this smile back to the heart, from shoulder to shoulder, right across, smiling right way across the heart space. And rest now for a few moments with a sense of gratitude and joy. Now gently bring the awareness back to the crown of the head again. This time visualising vibrant white light, refreshing, revitalising. As you inhale, renew and refresh each and every brain cell. Create a river of vibrant energy, bright and white, through the spine, from the crown down to the tailbone. Take a few deep breaths now into the heart and lungs, refreshing and renewing these organs. Allow this energy to radiate through both arms to the fingertips. And take some belly breaths now, refreshing and renewing all of the organs of your digestive system. Take a breath behind you into the kidneys. Refresh and renew these organs. And allow this energy to radiate through both legs to the tips of the toes, revitalising all of the muscles and joints of the lower limbs. Begin to make some movements or have a stretch. Enjoy being you. And then coming onto your side, just take a little moment to anchor how it feels to rest. And then when you're ready, helping yourself up to sitting. Rubbing the hands together. And then you'll have a shampoo or raindrops on the head. Give yourself a hug. Send one out to everybody else, especially anyone who watches it on record. You can send one to yourself watching it on record. Namaste. Just